All right, cool.
Okay, so today, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over some technique that's just going to make you better with your muscle memory. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 4 notes in succession. Find a spot on the neck where you like it. You picked A. So the index finger on the A, middle finger, ring finger, pinky. So forth and so on. Once you get to the top, you're going to reverse the order. So forth and so on. You're going to play to a click track. Now I happen to have this click track set at 115. And what that'll do is it'll just get you locked in on that harmony. All downstrokes. Now once you get that down, which, like I said, get an egg timer. Turn the egg timer over. When you're done, you're done. The next thing you do is you'd play it with up and down strokes using 8 notes. And it would come out like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it'll go. Up and down. You can practice up and down by just doing this. That's how you practice rhythm. Put them together and you got it. So forth and so on. Increase the tempo as you get better. You'll find you're going to get really good really fast. So that takes care of that. Now, learning the notes on the guitar seems like an incredibly daunting task when you look at the fact you have 22 frets and 6 strings. 6 times 22 is pretty easy to do. I'm sure everybody can do it. It's 134. So you say way too many notes, but it's not really that hard because there's only 7 notes: A, B, C, D, E, and F. So we start with the open string. Open string is E, A, D, G, B, E. How are we going to remember that? I don't know. Elvis ate drugs, goodbye Elvis. That's simple enough to remember. Just leave the peanut butter out of it. That's a joke. So what happens is when you have an E on your first string, you'll have an E at the 12th fret, which is the double dots, is where everything starts again. Now, if you want to find out where the note is on the next string up, you go up to the 3rd dot if you're in an open string, or the 7th fret. So it's 7 frets away. Or if you're up here at the 12th fret, it's 5 frets away. You're at A, up to the 3rd dot, over 1, or up to the 12th fret, down 5. Okay? And it'll go like that all the way to the G. The G's weird. When you cross over the G, you got to gain a point. But then when you're to the next string, you're back to where you started again, 7. Okay? Now, another trick is 2 over 2 up. So any note anywhere on the neck, I'll just pick that one. Go over 2 strings, 1, 2, and up 2 frets. 2. There's your octave. Over 2, up 2. And of course when you hit the G, over 2, up 3, because you crossed over the G. And then when you're on the G, 2 over 2 up, no, 2 over 3 up, because you're on the G. That's how that goes there. Now, we are going to learn how to build a chord, and we're going to do so by working with the song Melissa, which is in the key of E major. So E major, pattern-wise, and the guitar is a pattern-based instrument, is open E, 2nd fret, 4th fret, open A, 2nd fret, 4th fret, and then 1st fret. So you got, that's an E major scale. Now if you want to build a chord, let's say the E chord, you're going to use 3 notes, the 1st note, the 3rd note, and the 5th note. So you simply start with the E. E is 1, 2, 3. There's your 3rd note. So 1, 2, 3. And that happens to be a G sharp. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember this key goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have E, G sharp, and B. Now you take those notes, no matter where you are on the neck, and you assemble them in a fashion where you can play it. I'm playing it down here, so I'm going to go, well, E, that's a given. Now my next string, I'm going to play either an E, a C sharp, or a B, G sharp. Well, if this is an A, G sharp's way up here. There's no way I can play up here. And the E is here, so the note's going to be the B. The next string is a D, so E is right here. The next string is a G, and I need a G sharp, so there's my G sharp. And then I conclude with a B and an E, hence the E chord. Now if I wanted to play an A chord in the key of E, I'm going to do the exact same thing, or any other chord. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to play the key, scale, and I'm going to start, instead of on E, I'm going to start on the A. Now, the A becomes my first note, 1, but the pattern stays the same, except I'm starting here. Sort of like playing baseball, instead of going from home plate to home plate, you start in second base. You got to go all the way back to second base to complete a run. But anyway, so A becomes 1. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, A, C sharp, 4, 5, E. So now I have A, C sharp, and E. So if I do the same thing, I try to figure out where to put these notes so it's easy to play. You know, I can't do this. I go, well, their A's are given. The E, A, C sharp, E. Well, there's an E. We'll keep that. And again, 2 over 2 up is my A. So things are looking pretty good for me. Now here's the C sharp. Well, this is a B. The 5th string's a B, so there's my C sharp. And of course there's an E that ends it. So in doing so, there's my A chord. See how that worked? Now, what's important is that you understand you build chords in a key using the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th note. And if you work at it with Melissa and literally try to figure out the chords, you'll see how each chord in that song is built using that key. Now there's one exception to the rule, there always is. There's 7 notes in a scale or a key: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But if you want to play a run an 8, you're going to end up playing the same note twice. You're going to go. So, and you don't want to do that. You want to go smooth. What they've done is the 7th, for some unknown reason, you can play one of 2 7ths. You can play the major 7th, which is the seventh that appears in the key, in the scale. Or you can go back one fret or one note and play that seventh, and that's called the dominant seventh, and that's because it's the most prominent, dominant, nice sounding. So if you're playing an E and you want to play a major seventh, which is perfect music, you're going to get this jazzy. But if you want to play the dominant seventh, which is more popular, you're Grateful Dead, everything else. So by doing that, you end up being able to play a run in 4/4 time, and it sounds smooth. See how that works? Fair enough. Now the last thing we went over, and this is the color notes that makes the Allman Brothers what they are, as well as a few other bands. In Melissa, you have it in the key of E. Well, the 1 and the 5 note in any key is the same. So if I'm in E major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's your power note. If I'm in E minor, which you don't yet know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's the same. It's indeterminate. It's a gender neutral chord. That's why a lot of rock and metal do that, because they don't have to worry about thirds. Well, in Melissa, the B and the E, because you're in E, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the E and the B are your power chords, your indeterminate ones. Well, guess what? The guitar, Elvis ate drugs good. By B, Elvis, E. So B and an E appear right at the top. And that's what allows the Allman Brothers to craft this song by not playing the full chord. They actually let these two notes drone. Go to the turnaround, they're going to take the A and they're going to strip away that C sharp note. So they're only playing the middle two strings and the second fret. And then they go up to the B, C sharp minor. They'll add that, which is an E. I'll continue on now. The E, the F sharp minor, it's going to be hard for you to play. G sharp minor, A, C, B. So what they're doing is they're playing all these chords that you were playing, but they're playing them with the open B and E. So I'm only playing the first four. So that whole song is a lesson in what's called drone notes, or the key. So again, you play the key, the 1, the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th form your chord, and whatever chord you want, you immediately make that. If it's an A, that becomes 1. If it's a B, that becomes 1. So B would be, remember we have the dum. So there's your B. F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got, which is F sharp minor. It's just that simple. It-